This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 853, Full Frontal with Skull Zook. The Croesus front mushrooms that are safe to climb will no longer change location. They do change at the start of a fight, but they no longer change within the same boss kill.
Yay!
So that's nice.
So I guess that means the only thing left that's a real bother for you at Croesus is the particles at the end and the colored smoke.
Yeah, the particles suck just because it means I don't get very much in the way of loot, if any, like very little.
Yeah, because that lowers your points by the end of it. So, small steps will take it. And, this actually spurred, I was discussing this with Sirion on Monday about this, and we spent a good deal of time going back and forth on this, and that, was this a patch that was a good design initially, or was it the fact that they, in effect, that it was bugged when it came out, but it needed to be this way for an accessibility angle? Effectively, what does that say about the whole design of the Croesus fight? And when it comes down to it at the end of the day, things like this, the mushrooms, whether or not they're safe to climb over, should be something that is taken into account both in terms of the playtests that are done from a QA and internal perspective, but also from the accessibility perspective. And even for us, the three of us here who can see the boss, we will say that having the mushrooms move was an annoyance, especially when they could move while you were walking over them and cause problems for you in terms of losing the produce that you were carrying. So the lesson on this is that when you're designing something like this, when you're designing one of these boss fights, this is something that really should be considered from the very beginning, and it shouldn't necessarily take flipping to having them move and then hearing an outcry of players and swapping them back to how they were. This is something that should have probably been picked up internally beforehand, either, through a QA accessibility lens or just the general sentiment of the playthroughs that were done internally on this. And, if you were to put a number on it, Tannis, by how much of a factor would this improve your experience at Croesus?
Well, this is how it was when I did go and do it, and it was doable, right? Like all I had to do was memorize where it was, and I could do it. But when they switched it, I went back like one time and it was impossible. So that was it. So it wasn't doable. So this makes it doable again.
Yeah, we've been doing a bit of Croesus this week, and my sense is that it changes per fight and not. It's not constant for the instance like it initially was, so this seems to be a compromise down the middle. You can find full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe, or leave a comment.